and welcome to Chant a day.
You got to close and wash up.
Oh no. At her house? Wow. Greetings. Welcome to Chant a day. We are here on Sunday. Happy Sunday, everyone. A happy Sunday. We are here on a Sunday. And today, let's get my camera right. I got a camera tripod is in the mailbox. I gotta go pick it up. But we're gonna start the psalm. The psalm today is 41, and it's titled "Be Gracious." That's my son in the background. Be gracious to me. Be gracious to I and I. So let me get set up here. Well, I'm actually already set up, but I just wanted to let me send. Okay, so in the psalm today we have 41, and it's titled, "Oh, be gracious to I and I. Oh, goodness and mercy." So we're asking for mercy, we're asking for grace, we're asking for compassion, we're asking for these things that are of what God is calling on. So it is the goodness, the mercy, the love, and the kindness that gives us the ability to gives us the ability to see ourselves and how we treat other people. So let's get started with the psalm. Let's get started with the psalm. Everybody pull up a chair. I hear chairs pulling up. Blessed rise. Okay. So the psalm today, 41, I'm going to translate it. So this is how it goes. I ask that the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart is acceptable in the sight of what is righteous, what is good and kind. So I go ahead, light my candle. My candle. Yes, by the light, we are light, we are love, we are kindness. So Psalm 41 starts off with, "Blessed is the one who thinks of the poor." Okay. Blessed is the one who thinks of the poor. Now, when we translate that, what does that mean? What does that mean? That means that people are going to be blessed when they give to people who have less than they. Okay? This is what that means. So when we talk about being blessed is not what you can get. It's what you give. That's how you are blessed. Hi, Elias. So, blessed rise. So that's how the psalm starts off. Blessed is the one who thinks about the poor. Okay? And when you look at the poor in our world, we're looking at people who have been oppressed, who've been marginalized, who've been put aside. So in the day of trouble, righteousness delivers the one who thinks about the poor, right? When trouble comes, that person gonna be good. That person gonna be okay because they've thought about others are not just themselves, right? It's not just about themselves. So in verse 2, righteousness protects the one who thinks about the poor, protects them and keeps that one alive, right? And the one who thinks about the poor is called blessed in the land. And the one who is called blessed and who thinks about the poor doesn't is not giving up to the will of their enemies. So when the enemies come around, they're good. They're not going to be touched by the enemy because they're thinking about the poor. They're thinking about someone less than themselves. You know, so in verse 3, it talks about righteousness sustaining the one who is called blessed in the land, and that one who thinks about the poor, that one is going to be sustained on their sick bed. And in the illness that they have, they're going to be restored to full health. Period. End of story. So verse 1, 2, and 3 in Psalm 41 is basically talking about you reap what you sow. Whatever you give is what you're going to get back. So when you give to the poor, when you give to someone less, fortunate than you, you're going to be restored to full health. I went to my uncle yesterday and I was paying him for some products that he makes. He's a herbalist, and he said no, he's not going to take the money out. And that he was on his sick bed when I went to see him. I send positive healing vibes for him to restore him to full health. Restore him to full health completely. I'm asking that because he gave to me without any money involved. He gave that to me. He thought about my need. He thought about that and he gave. So he is blessed. He's blessed in the land. He's not going to be given over to the will of the enemies. He's going to be sustained on his sick bed because that's where I saw him yesterday. And his illness is going to be restored. He's going to be restored to full health and walking again because he's not able to walk for 6 months. So, and I said, let me rub you, but he was like, he's already gotten the rub and stuff. So this psalm is for my uncle. It's for righteousness to be gracious to him during this time that he is bedridden. Okay. And the psalm starts off with that. It starts off with actions speak louder. Things that you do are important, and how you do them, and how your mental thoughts about thinking of others is going to be something that's going to save you. So in verse 4, as for I spoke, O righteousness, be gracious to I and I. Heal I and I, for I and I have sinned against you, against righteousness. I did something wrong. I went against righteousness. And this is what has happened. And it's a asking for grace, for healing, right? In verse 5, there's enemies, and the enemy, we are our own worst enemy. Okay, we tell ourselves things. We are our own worst enemy. So for I am going to ask and speak the words, O righteousness, be gracious to all of I and I. Not just for me, but for all of I and I, I'm asking. And that's what the first verse talks about. Blessed is the one who thinks of the poor, not about yourself. You're praying for things of the world. You want this, you want that for yourself. It's not going to happen like that. You have to think about other people. You have to think about other people. And that's why I use the word I and I, because it's not just me, it's all of I and I that's part of this goodness and mercy and grace that is from above. We seek for what's above, not for what's below. So happiness means different things to different people. And as for I spoke, O righteousness, be gracious to I, heal I, for I have sinned. I enemies speak of I in malice. When will she die and her name perish? She needs to get on with herself, move on. When is she's gonna? So they're speaking this about me, all right? And verse 6, and when one comes to see I or speak to I, one utters empty words. And that's so true, because this is what has happened. I was on a phone call and I asked the person questions and they refused to answer. It was empty words. It was just, that's what it was. So while hearts gathers in equity, right? So people are speaking empty words while their heart are gathering evilness. And when they go out, they tell it abroad. Okay. Verse 7, all who hate I or hate righteousness. It's not even about me. It's about righteousness and goodness. When you hate me, that's what you hate. All who hate I whisper together about I, and they imagine the worst for I. If you subscribe to this channel and go to my videos, you'll see I don't wish anything bad on anyone. I congratulate you if you've chosen what you've chosen without telling me about it. That's kind of shisty, but I still am going to not let you push me into hate, a hateful place. I'm going to stay in a righteous place, in a good place, because that is the place of bless. That is the place where you're going to be delivered from harm and from trouble. In the day of trouble, righteousness is going to deliver you and protect you and keep you alive, because you have not forsaken what's within you for foolishness that's outside of you. So don't worry about me. I'm always gonna be good, because righteousness always makes things right and puts things in the right order, in the right place, and for the right time. So in verse 8, these same enemies are speaking. A deadly thing is poured out, and that deadly thing will not allow that person to rise from where they lies. Verse 9, even I close friend in whom I trusted, who ate I bread, has lifted a heel against I. So this is what has happened in my life for real. The person who I thought was my good friend, my partner, my person, they went and met someone else and didn't tell me. I had to ask. They never told me anything. So, and then they're making it as if I'm the one who's got a problem and I'm the one who is reacting emotionally. And it's like, no, I'm reacting the way someone who has been lied to is reacting. I'm reacting the way someone who's been taken for a ride is gonna act. So verse 9 is powerful, because even my close friend in whom I trusted, who ate my bread, who ate the things that I gave, or received the things that I gave, lifted up their heel against I. They lifted up against I. So when you are being, untruthful to people, it comes back. This is what happened to me. I left someone and I didn't, I told them but it was the similar kind of way that's happening to me. I went off with someone else. So everything comes back around. So when you do that, you have to remember that behind it, it's coming back there. So Oh my goodness, I'm hot. Let's turn this off because the heat in this room. Okay, wait, let's get this. So, verse 9 is powerful. Verse 9 is really powerful because it reflects exactly what has happened to me. Um, Verse 9, even my close friend in whom I trusted, who ate my bread, has lifted a heel against I. Verse 10, however, righteousness is gracious to I and raises I up that I may repay ones. Okay, and it didn't say repay ones with hate. It's repay ones with righteousness, with goodness and mercy and love and kindness. We're repaying ones with that. Through this, I know that righteousness delights in I and I enemy will not shout in triumph over I. Okay. Only righteousness have upheld I because of my integrity. Okay, and set I in the presence of righteousness for all time to come. Blessed be righteousness, the Almighty of I and I, from such time ago to such time ago, Selah and Selah again. Here ends the psalm for today. That is Psalm 41. And Psalm 41 in translation is about, and it's right at the end of book 1 in the Psalms, is the end of book 1. Being gracious to I and I. Righteousness being gracious to I and I. That is what is going to fulfill all of the need to be worthy and valued. That is what is going to fulfill that. So we look at the word today and it's valuable. I just said that. Value. And now I just opened the word and it's valuable. As a divine being, I am valuable and irreplaceable. I received that because it's interesting how people break up with you. And how you break up with a person is generally how that person is going to break up with you. It always happens. It's called karma, right? What goes around comes around. So as I move forward in my life and I get to experience the pain of loss, the pain of moving on, the pain of my dad, I seeing my dad on the ground, that's a pain. That's more of a pain than any buddy cheating on me or leaving me for someone else. That's more painful than that. And I am going to value myself as a divine being and know that I'm irreplaceable. I'm irreplaceable. You cannot find anyone that's going to be like me. Everyone is unique. There's no one like them. So each person is a righteous being made in the image and likeness of righteousness, blessed with a variety of righteous gifts that is shared in different ways. Okay? The world needs a unique contribution. When I see myself this way, I become newly aware of my value as a member of the human family. More aware of in myself as I shine in the light of righteousness as only I can. Living in the awareness of I and I value helps others see that value too. I leave behind critical or negative opinions I may have held about myself and treat myself as the divine being I am. As a beautiful gemstone, I too I'm a precious jewel, so among so many others. Together, I sparkle and shine. So, the word today is valuable. We are irreplaceable. We can't be replaced. My dad can't be replaced, right? I can't be replaced. So each person is a righteous being made in the image and likeness of righteousness, blessed with a variety of righteous gifts that are shared in different ways. So in Genesis chapter 1, 27, 27 coming up again. So righteousness created humankind in the image of righteousness, in the image of what righteousness created. Male and female, righteousness created. So we have the ability to know that we are righteous, we are kind, we are merciful, we are love, and we have an advocate with that. So when we feel like popping off on someone, we don't have to do that. We can keep our righteousness and our goodness so nobody takes away our joy. We choose happy. That's what we choose. We choose happy. Okay. Like I said, I'm going to read the letter, the breakup letter I wrote in 2022 for met someone else. I'm going to read that letter because, everyone needs to know how this happened. And from 2018 to today, 2024. So it's been, you know, um, it's been from the beginning. It's not been founded on truth and love and kindness. Just like I was with someone and they lied about their age. I didn't find out until I came to meet them, and they lied about their age. So I was like, why lie about that? If you can lie about that, what else can you lie about? So when you start a relationship off on a lie, that is what is going to permeate throughout. When you start a relationship with honesty and truth and righteousness and kindness and mercy and love, that's going to permeate. So, 2018, when I met the person, and I think it was January 6th, we went to the movies, and then January 20th, the person asked me to marry them. I was going away. I was leaving to go teach, to go work at the library. So, um, when you want a relationship with someone and you want it so bad, it's not going to work. And they wanted it so bad. This is what they wanted. They wanted that. And when they realize that this is not what it's cut out to be, this is going to be long suffering. You're going to have to be away from this person a lot. They couldn't deal with that. So they became unhappy and alone. And I actually asked, when I communed with righteousness, I asked that they find someone that they can be with, that they can have, because I'm not the one. I knew it. So I'm not in this place of upset or, I'm a scorned woman. No, I've already let that go from 2018, from 2019, from 2018, when I heard the voice of the Most High speak to me and said, this person needs to go take care of their mom. And I heard that. So I knew from then that we were not going to be a sustaining, relationship. The ship was sinking from the beginning. So, and it's all about maturity. When you're not mature, you're not going to be able to stay in a ship that requires of you so much. Like my mom and my dad were married for 56 years, and he cheated on her. But she did not retaliate against him. She did not do anything to hurt him. She kept on being kind and loving to him. But you see, I wasn't married, so I could walk away at any time. Um, and I did after 2018, and I heard the voice of the Most High speak to me that this person needs to go take care of their mom. In September 2018, the sister passed. And then in 2019, her mom passed. And it was over, because after her mom left, I had no advocate. I wasn't going to stick around there. Um, Everybody was just about using me for what I have. And so when her mom passed in 2019, it was literally over. That's when I started my business, my baby. I started my Negus education. I birthed my baby in 2019, my business. And 2020, I graduated with 2 degrees, a master's and a library science and a PhD in family studies. So 2020 December, I graduated. uh, 2021, I started my summer workshop, the first one, 2021, then 2022, the second one, 2023, the third one, and this year, 2024, the fourth one. So I have not lost anything. I've not lost anything. I need them. I wanted to build something with them. I didn't. And my son, interesting enough, when he first when I first introduced him, he was like, that person is very clingy. They're clingy. They want to be next to you the whole time. They're just clingy. So um, it's interesting, because when somebody is clingy, they're not fully mature. They're seeking happiness from someone else instead of themselves. And when that person doesn't fulfill that, they attack the person, and not looking at themselves as being fully happy from the beginning. So this word today is very powerful, valuable, because I always want to be valued. I don't want to feel that I'm not valued. And in December 2023, the person did not pick me as their ride and live. They said their niece. They said that to the niece on the phone when I was there. You're my ride and die, and I don't use the word die. So they said, you're my ride and die, when I'm the one here sacrificing my credit to help this person, but they're the ride and live. So those kinds of narratives are kind of twisted, and because of that, I'm glad that I'm free from those entanglements and those chains of down pressing, because I felt that it became a point of down pressing, and I didn't want anything bad happening to the person because they're down pressing me and taking advantage of me. Um, so I had to, going our separate ways. And I'll read the letter I wrote in December 2022, because that's important as I go live and as I talk about my relationship. I may even write a book about that. And I have a title, actually. I wrote a title of a book that I'm going to write about these women, because a lot of times the people I was with had childhood trauma. They were traumatized from childhood, either seeing violence on their family member, being called names, being verbally abused, being physically abused, sexually abused, emotionally abused, and intellectually abused. These women have gone through these traumas, and they're not fully present to be in a relationship. And I wanted to help them and wanted to get them from that place of trauma into a healing place. But I'm not a counselor. I'm a family scientist. They needed a therapist to help them. Because when you've been molested by a family member, a close family member, it becomes Munchausen syndrome, where you are want to protect them. And this is psychological warfare that goes on in a person. And I've seen it in the women that I was with. I've seen it in them. It comes out. So moving forward, you know, I moving forward, I want to be able to find women, find individuals that are healing. That the verse today, that's what I wanted to share. The verse today, let's get the verse today, is coming from Psalm 119, verse 30. I have chosen the way of faithfulness. I have set my heart on righteous laws. So I have chosen the way of faithfulness, right? And I that's why when people talk about I choose joy, I choose happiness, this is what I choose. I choose joy and happiness. And part of that happiness, joy is faithfulness. You're faithful to, the mercy and compassion that you have received. You're faithful to people who you say that you love. You're faithful and you're kind to people that want the best for you. So this is the verse today. I have chosen the way of faithfulness. Okay, I've chosen the way of faithfulness. I have set my heart on the laws of righteousness. That's where my heart rests. It rests on the laws of righteousness. So that was the verse today, Psalm 119, verse 30. Then we have Genesis 1:27 that is supporting our word today, valuable. As a divine being, I am valuable and irreplaceable. Valuable and irreplaceable. And then we have the Psalm today, 41, O righteousness be gracious to I and I. So, and this Psalm 41 was 13 verses. So this was our Chant a Psalm a day. Thank you for joining and for being part of this amazing live video that I do every day to chant a Psalm a day. Have a blessed day. Have a blessed day, everyone. Have a blessed day.